I lied. It's happening right now. Right here. Right now. On the Vainglory Community Tournament stream. Alright. Looks like... Is this... Nobody's told me. Is this... Alright, hold on. Let me just check the announcements. This is grand finals of the very first ever Vainglory Community Tournament! Hype in chat. I'm standing up for this game. I'm commentating at an amazing right here. Grand finals. Dinals. I spelled that wrong. Oh my goodness. Alright. Getting to the draft phase here. Not paying attention at all. Too busy trying to update this. It says semifinals, grand finals. Ha! Update. Alright, here we go. Grand finals. We have Team E. Where is it? Alex Jones level of commentary. This isn't even the same team. Oh my goodness, what game is starting right now? I don't know how. I have misinformation. I will update information. It's 0-0. Let's just change this to 0-0. Ooh, we got some hero swaps. That was loud. Team 0. Oh, show, please. Thank you. Thank you.
Prepare for battle.
Change this to 0 while I get updated on this information. I think this is Team G. This is different. They have different names. I don't understand what's going on. Team G is on this side. Or is that Team E? I totally forgot. Hold on. Give me a second. Team B and Team G. Team B. This is definitely Team B. Ooh. Look at that. Amazing. What a world we live in that I'm able to change this around so effortlessly and flawlessly. Oh my goodness. Let me change the name. Team B. Alright. Grand Finals. Vainglory Community Tournament. Tweet this out to all your friends. All your Vainglory fanatics. This is going to be so hype. You have some of the best players from North America and Europe facing off against each other in the blue corner on Team B. We have ILoveTribe, AsianWithEyes, and on Ardent KillSwitch. This Team B is also the same Team B that knocked out your boy Mawthu on commentary, and Team C out of bracket. So I am personally rooting for Team B because they beat us, so I want them to win. This is going to be Treant Dance starting off in the early game. The BM recalls from Team G. Team G's pretty warmed up from the last series, so this would be very interesting for Team B. Fight going off. This is the Treant going to Alpha. Both teams deciding to retreat and back out, go to lane. Rome's coming up to babysit the lane. Pretty standard start. Hold on, I am going to get a sip of water while this happens, because they're not going to get this Ardent kill, and if they do, my god. Ardent, pop your potion, now he's recalling. We're having fun here at the Vainglory Community Tournament, recalls and all. This Grace is taking free damage. So, in terms of the draft, this is a decent draft coming out from both teams. However, I do not favor the Taka into the Alpha. But this Taka should be able to not have trouble killing the Vox, because they were able to deny them Grace. Some more BM recalls. Grace asserting herself with that retribution there. Misclicks the knockup. And everything pretty standard. Ardent overextending quite a lot. Vox doesn't have quite enough damage to capitalize on Grace, but Oh my goodness. Taka able to swoop up the first blood before Alpha is able to pick up the kill. Gonna turn around. Alpha going into the tower. Not able to get out of tower range in time. And the early ace comes out for red team. This is definitely a hot red team. Ready to fight. They just fought Vox for a 3 series game. They're ready to fight him for another series. Already warmed up. Unlike this, Vox is going weapon power. And we have a crystal power alpha. I like this a lot better than the roles being switched. But don't worry, chat. We don't have another double weapon power team. Because Taka will definitely go into crystal power. So no weapon power lulls in chat, please. Okay. After quite the intense 3 minutes... Back to standard. Back to recalls. Alpha in trying to invade Taka without her ultimate, or not ultimate, but her passive. Quite risky. Gwen's already pretty low. CS is quite even between the 2 laners. Taka finally level 6. This is really dangerous. This could be really dangerous. Grace trying to bait it out. Going extremely low. Taka able to pick up the kill on the Vox. His health potion was not enough to save him from a level 6 Taka being level 4. Taka getting off a little more damage. Feeling quite confident. Feeling like the big boy on campus because he's ahead a kill and he's also level 6. He's also cyberbullying this alpha. Taking her jungle right from under her. Wow, she's there. Asserting himself as the dominant jungler. He's going to continue to counter jungle with his lead, which is good. While slowly building into his crystal path tree. Gwen looks like she's going for the Sorrow Blade first, which is good. No more Tension Bow. Tension Bow Gwen is a gimmick. It's not good. Don't do it. Never Tension Bow Gwen. It never works. It works, but it just doesn't work well enough. Gwen getting the knockup, but nothing really happening here. Alpha finally level 6. Hopefully they'll be able to pick up this. Oh, she misses. What a juke from the Grace while her teammates back away. Leave her for dead. Takes things into her own hands. Vox also level 6. Ardent hopefully hitting level 5 soon. Levels between the 2 teams are getting a little more even. Taka back to jungling his camps. Recalls. Items. So this is poison chip first for Vox. And opting to buy the weapon power potion first. Fun fact, if he doesn't pop this, which he's not, waiting for a better opportunity. Gwen level 6. Fun fact about weapon power potions and crystal power potions. If you buy them and do not use them, you may go back to the shop of your choice and resell them for full value, full refund. Ooh, didn't know if you knew that. But that's some amazing... Oh, that was an amazing fountain saving Vox's life. He's feeling quite confident considering he still has potion. So they're going to do some stupid risky bait under tower with the recalls. They want it. This Taka's looking for a chance to go in. Waiting for the minions to tank. Grace getting off the retribution, but nothing comes of it. Unfortunately, red team is not choosing to get any tower damage off. They're rather spend their time recalling and poking. Taka saw Grace trying to take his jungle, and he's just here to remind her that this is in fact his jungle. Grace gets the treant, and Blue loses out on another jungle camp. Okay, finally slowing down a little bit. I feel like I get to take a minor break. Just pushing out the lanes. Gwen coming over to soak some jungle EXP while she waits for a lane to reset. Starting to do lots of damage. Oh, she has a Sorrow Blade. Alright, please recall. Nope. Alright. Hold on, nothing's gonna happen. So here's the quick builds. Taka going for the Storm Crown, which does just a lot of true damage, and I feel like it's just too strong. But hopefully, Red Team will choose to prioritize getting the Tier 1 tower, because this will really open up the map for them and really like give them the ability to dictate the flow of the game. Alpha getting bullied still by the Taka, as he constantly reminds her that that is indeed not her jungle. It is his jungle. But Vox and Ardent rotating down to buy. Grace putting up some overextension from the Alpha. Aces High connects. They won't be able to get the full burst off, as Alpha's the damage items are still not fully there yet. Gwen down to about quarter health, but she needs to be extremely careful here. Ultimate coming off from the Grace and the Fountain will save her life, and they will go to a reset in the team fight. Alpha has no passive, has no ultimate for this fight either, so this would be quite risky if they decide to take it head on, trying to save the tower. What a block from Ardent, saving Vox's life, but unfortunately he will pay for it. Alpha barely making it out. Luckily she was able to secure the treant, giving her the health to live. Taka being extremely greedy, and now he is overcommitted and will cost him his life. Gwen being what every player should be doing, taking the tower, gets it down to about half HP, but that first tier tower down for blue team really gives the map control to an already dominating Taka in the jungle, and I would like to see more vision out from red team so they can kind of push their area of comfort, I guess you could call it, in terms of map control. One more thing about that fight that I totally forgot to mention and can't think of now, so oh well. I also forgot to reset my phone, so the frame rate might be a little low here. Gonna do the lazy cam and just follow Grace. Ardent just poking, but is gonna end up costing him his life. Maybe? Yeah, alright. Finally, going with the breaking point, Sorrow Blade. It's very strong. Coco looking dominant this game. The Vox is struggling. The Vox is going to struggle until he gets his third item, just because if he doesn't get ahead early on, he really has to wait for the late game. They're being a little greedy, trying to take this gold miner without their Taka, who I think happened to have disconnected. Because how long has he been there, chat? Hello? Taka? Alright. So, just wasting time. They could have been clearing Taka's jungle and been optimal. This is not EU, this is NA, but their EU players are able to enter because they'll be provided with dummy accounts. Or, not dummy accounts, but accounts to play in NA. But this is all tier 10s and above playing, to my knowledge. That's what the loading screen told me. That's about where my knowledge stops. Okay, so looking like a 3k gold lead for the red team. They're ahead a tower. The tier 1 tower hasn't even been damaged yet. They should be able to come up. It appears the red team's Taka is currently disconnected, or has to take out the trash, or his dog has to get something's going on where Taka is not playing longer. So, oh, we saw him move. Is he back? Hello? Taka? Alright, he's back. He's back, boys. Oh my goodness. Red team is back in it. They don't have to play scared any longer. They can regain their dominance. Grace connecting the knockup onto the Ardent, trying to go in on the Vox, but Vox is gonna barely. Nope, he goes down. Too much damage. Getting a little bit off, keeping her team nice and healthy. Alpha unable to get her ultimate off. This is gonna be a huge loss for blue team. And this is looking like a gold mine secure and a tier 2 tower secured for the red. In that fight, they had a chance. That was a good gauntlet from Ardent, but unfortunately the focus wasn't there. Vox was blown up by Taka. They're going to secure the Crystal Sentry. This is good because now they have continued to dominate Alpha's jungle, and Alpha having a rough game, but making it work. So what blue team needs to do here to get back into the game is prevent any head-on team fights. They have decent vision on the map, and they need to go for picks. They can't fight these head-on fights. Grace is just going to be able to heal her team back up to full strength, and one buckshot auto from Gwen just chunks Alpha straight to half HP. This is kind of an awkward position for blue team as they don't have the Crystal Sentry and the red team's pushing. They need to quickly recall, and this will allow red team to rotate down and continue to starve blue team of the jungle. But Alpha does not want this. She will not have it any longer. Vox ultimate connects to 2. Grace will be able to get both her ultimates off. Alpha's really going in deep for the Grace, but amazingly gets stopped. And the second Grace ultimate will connect to Gwen, giving her the health she needs to survive this fight to die. And I don't know what happened there. I was just so amazed that Gwen lived that, but barely. And then Alpha didn't die. There was a little miscommunication. They should have immediately turned around on the Alpha. But this will allow blue team to get finally some breathing room. What was seeming like quite what was seeming to be quite the dire situation for them. They finally pick up the team fight they needed. Alpha said, no more Taka, this is my jungle, reclaiming her territory. That was a very close crack and steal, but unfortunately it didn't pan out. Gwen's ult connects to the Ardent. They'll be able to burst him down. No, Ardent's going to live. Vox getting a silence off. Ardent's still living. Taka needs to turn around. They need to focus this Alpha. And they were listening to the stream because they did focus Alpha. So that was a really good block, but unfortunately there's 3 teammates there. Vox going down, and this Crystal Sentry quickly switches off Gwen, allowing her to live. Ardent almost getting the punch, but that was quite greedy. Recalling to get the Kraken, who seems to be getting tier 2 tower, and evening up in terms of map objectives, but the lead for red is still strong. But these fights are becoming progressively more even as red teams kind of a little sloppy with their choice of targets in terms of focus and ultimates. But finally, a slowdown in the game. I am going to go ahead and take a much needed drink of water here. As a reminder, this is game 1 of Grand Finals for the very first official Vainglory community tournament hosted by the Vainglory community Discord. These guys did a phenomenal job hosting an online tournament, the very first one ever. It went about as smoothly as expected, and they put in a lot of work to make this happen. First place does get a grand prize of $20, which is quite amazing. Even just a chance to play for glory is something worth fighting for as well. And shout out to the Discord and the mods of the Discord of the Vainglory Community Tournament for really making this happen. But enough of that, getting back into the game. Red team continuing to eliminate the Crystal Sentry, taking the jungle, even though the last two fights have gone in the favor of blue, they're still willing to be in their face and kind of push the pressure upon them in their own jungle. Kraken gonna be up in now, actually. Let's see how this fight goes. Gwen's ultimate immediately blocked. An amazing gauntlet trapping Gwen inside with Vox. Vox being very aggressive, but Grace is able to heal her Gwen up twice back up to full health, allowing her to barely live. Alpha, unfortunately, does not get her ultimate off. Ardent getting cleaned up. What a very well fought by Ardent, but his team unfortunately was not able to get the damage off. Red team securing the Kraken and getting the ace to push into the tier 3 tower of game 1 with 17 seconds left on the Vox. This is looking pretty grim. I don't think with the ace minions and the solo, I feel like Red's going to be able to either one of two things: capitalize greatly off of this and be able to get the 2 towers, or it's going to go horrible and they're going to get a good fight off. Alpha has her ultimate for this fight, though. Maybe this was the 200 IQ Alpha plays that I was not expecting, and she's going to be able to get an amazing defense fight. So blue team needs to get this fight. They need to get an ace. They need to do this before they could even think about focusing down Kraken. If they don't kill red before focusing Kraken, it's going to be cementing their place for this game. Grace going in, just getting off some poke damage. Taka waiting patiently to go in. Goes in on the Ardent and then chooses to hit the tower instead. Grace getting the double knock up. Gwen getting the buckshot. Alpha finally getting ultimate, but misses. What a dodge by both. The Ward Tread saving both Grace and Gwen's life. The fight is just pretty much over from here on out. Unfortunately, Alpha was not able to get her ultimate off. That was amazing Ward Treads from the Grace and dodging of the laser, allowing them to win the fight. That was pretty good game 1 for grand finals of our Vainglory Community Tournament. That was relatively close despite what the kill count says. It was kind of even. It was more of a slow pressured win from red team, from Team G. My boys Team B are going to have to change some things around for this one. And we'll switch it around unprofessionally. There we go. Oof. 10 out of 10. GG. See some GGs in chat. Alright. Let's go to the side and chat. Let's read some of our comments here. Got slapped by the team playing right now. I did too. GG. How did you turn do? How did your team do? We won first round, and then we lost to Team B. And I played captain that game. I think we got 6th, I think, or 5th maybe. But it seems we're ready to immediately get into game 2. Grand finals is best of 3, right? We're going to get confirmation from the TOs. Yes, best of 3 for grand finals. This is turning out to be pretty good, decent set of games. This is relatively even, and this is quite entertaining. So these tournaments should be held once a week. So I am willing to give out. The best way to check for tournaments is to be a part of the Vainglory Discord server, and under tournaments and events, announcements are posted there. If you would like a direct link to that, I am willing to provide it. All right, game 2. Team G picking up comfort picks, banning the cruel way, which is good because I do personally, as a carry player, I do not like playing against cruel. No fun. I mean, like, it's just one more thing you have to worry about. Team B changing up a little, picking up the Catherine. They played this against us yesterday, and it worked out quite well for them as they did win. Banning away the Idris, though, because the CP Idris is pretty strong this patch. A few patches ago, he also was the highest damaging hero at full build, so it's going to be interesting, though, the Ringo pickup. I'm not sure about this one. Ringo seems to be very hit and miss when it comes to just games in general, both tournament-wise, professional-wise, and, like, solo queue. He's going to have a lot of things going for him. It's going to be against the Lance, which Ringo is decent against. It's better than a few other heroes, but they're going to go with the Fortress jungle. This is quite interesting. That's pretty exciting. I always like to see the Fortress jungle, but comfort picks back again for Team G with the Taka and the Gwen.
Prepare for battle.
And getting into game 2 of Grand Finals, we have Team G leading by 1. I do agree. Lol, they picked Ringo. Lol. Lol's in chat. But no caster bias. I am unbiased as a caster, even though I want Team B to win because they beat us and knocked us out. And yeah, that's how that happened. Alright. Getting into game 2 of your Vainglory community tournament, I am your host, twitch.tv/Mawthu, and an amazing tournament put on for both regions, NA and EU. If you are interested in joining the tournament, I am willing to provide the link to the Discord or provide... if you check the Vainglory's official Discord server, you will see announcements and dates and times posted there. Okay, with that out of the way, pretty standard start. There seems to always... Every single one of these games today has definitely gone for this level 2 Treant fight. But I do favor the chances of red team... Treant fight. They're just gonna give this up. They're not feeling too confident in terms of the early fight. Blue team just gonna secure it. Taka's gonna back to standards. And what I mean by standard is the roams just coming up and supporting the lane. That was quite the miss. What the juke from Asian was with eyes. 10 out of 10. So impressed. Doesn't take the free damage. So in terms of win conditions that we're looking at here, while they decide to poke each other, there's one thing different from this game as compared to last game. I lied. It just happened. There's no recalls to assert lane dominance. The more you recall, the more you assert. Fortress clearance jungle about to run into the Taka, taking out the tree, and he knows he's there, but chooses not to fight him. Taka switches from the Treant to try and deny Fortress the jungle. Gwen and Lance are coming down to support the Taka, and nothing will come of it. This is good. Gives Ringo time to push lane and get ahead in levels, hopefully. In terms of lane, this is relatively in Ringo's favor early on, I feel, because he has an easier time with mana management and clearing waves. But that was pretty good. What is he doing? Hello? I think that was all planned. He wasn't really planning to recall. He was just wanted to show he didn't care. Taka clearing, recalling, Catherine just chilling. Alright, this game is a lot slower than our other two games. This is still no first blood. This is the first time we haven't had a first blood within the first 3 minutes of the game. This tournament was open to players with all skill in terms of team balance, so you will be placed fairly for the most part. Unless you're placed with me next tournament, and then you will be in some deep trouble. This could be the second treant secured for blue team. Talk up one head in the jungle. Fortress has a pretty slow clear until he gets his items, so this is going to be pretty dominant jungle from Taka again, which is kind of interesting because red team was willing to opt for Fortress jungle, which is a little not as impactful early on as Taka, and Taka was having quite a good game last game as he continues to come in and bully this jungler. But taking a little too much damage from the crystal miner will force him to back off. And the lanes come down, they buy. Gwen getting the Sorrow Blade first. Atta girl, I like that. Sorrow Blade, Gwen is the way to go. Lance finally picking up his fountain, along with Catherine having the fountain, so slowly moving into the mid game here. Oh my goodness. I did not know where that yawn came from. Catherine doing the best she can to save the lane for Ringo. Good guy, Catherine. Ringo able to not miss that much CS. And yes, Fortress is maxing A first. Ooh, that was extremely close for the Ringo. Charging up his ultimate from under tower, but that was a little risky. I don't know what that Lance was doing. He missed a wall smash on a Ringo who was standing still. Not going to talk about that. Gwen getting extremely low from the max day Fortress. Taka also getting low. They're not able to capitalize on any of these. A little miscommunication, and ooh, Fortress going down for the first blood, going to blue team. Ringo, angered by the death of his comrade, decides to continue to go in on a not favorable situation, but is able to get away with it. Taka continuing to get the treant, steals away the treant from, but if he dies it'll be worth it. It was worth it because he stole it away. He's like, excuse me. That was very alpha of Taka to do. Catherine getting extremely low. This Gwen getting scared off by the gold miner and does not choose to chase, even though the red team captain and Captain and Carry are quite low in terms of health. But alas, after all that, it is still 1-1. Blue team with a slight gold lead, but not by much. Both carries have their first item. Ringo choosing to go, what's this called again? The spell sword first. Lance with the root, but nothing comes of it. That was, ooh, ouch, that Gwen's starting to really hurt. Those Sorrow Blades and the Steel Blade together are stacking quite a lot of damage. This is why I do prefer this over Tension Bow. Taka just clearing the jungle while red team desperately tries to defend their tier 1 tower. Lance just throwing out abilities, missing all of them. Catherine going extremely low, but lucky for her, she had her shield up. Ooh. That was a bait the whole time. This is kind of turned into a really bad situation for blue team. Ringo getting extremely low. Taka not able to finish off the kill. Ringo charging his ultimate onto the Taka. Taka going back in to finish what he started, but it's a little too late for that as Ringo does go down, but Taka does trade his life for it. Lance still taking tower damage. Gwen getting Catherine extremely low, but she's still too tanky for them. Good stun from Lance, knocking Fortress off of Gwen, potentially saving her life. Catherine, a little too eager with that Q, gets turned on and slapped by the Buckshot Bonanza. And it turns into a 1-for-2 trade in favor of blue team. Gwen just, instead of recalling, decides to help Taka clear for the gold, as her lane is pushed, but does not recall, interestingly enough, but she does have her breaking point now. Ringo with the Tyrant's Monocle. And in terms of CS, Gwen is doing a decent job, but still a little behind when it comes to amazing CS. Yeah, Kath was a little too aggro, a little too greedy. She would have lived anyways, even if Catherine did get that stun off. But here we go again. Catherine using her stun to be aggressive when she needs to be using it defensively to save Ringo's life, because Taka's going to come in the back and jump on him. Good stun from the Lance. Gets Catherine knocked into the wall, but unfortunately still just a little too tanky for them to take down. But no, I guess they're just strong enough to finish her off in the end anyways. I'm not liking these decisions coming out from Catherine. Catherine needs to be saving her stun for defensive peel on Ringo, because Ringo's going to struggle to kite away from Taka. And this is why we're Ringo lolling in chat, because he really needs his team to kind of wall for him. He does have the Fortress and the Catherine to help in assisting that, though. The Fortress pick, though, in the end, was ultimately for the ultimate to hopefully track down Taka and giving them a little more vision. But Fortress does get countered by Lance, because he's able to knock both Lance is able to knock both Catherine and Fortress out of their abilities. But good for Ringo, because he cannot be focused as hard by Lance. He's able to dodge him due to the moon speed gain from his B. Taka being extremely risky there, but lucky for him, they did not have vision. It looked like they had vision. But here we go, another fight about to break out. Taka was good to go. Lance impale misses, rolls over. They get away in time. They're too quick for the blue team. Taka continuing to take Fortress's jungle every chance he gets, every time he's over on the side of the map. Go ahead and look at our build orders from both of our teams. Ringo still sitting at 2 items, but going for a 3rd Tyrant's Monocle, it would appear. Red team blue team, forgive me, gets the gold payout. Gwen doing more damage to herself right now than to the actual Catherine. Catherine's just extremely tanky, even though she only has the 2 items, but enough of that. Good knockback from Lance, hopefully saving his Gwen's life. I don't think so, though. She's a little too low for comfort. Taka nowhere near his team and is not able to assist. So the pressure that red team can create right now is good. They have an entire minion wave. They just need to be able to peel back for the Ringo. The Ringo eats Lance Impale and just decides to continue to focus down. He is too tanky for him, and he's barely going to live because of the amazing fountain pops just in time. And unfortunately, nothing comes of this power play they get from killing the Gwen. Not even tower damage, even though they had the minions in their favor. Unfortunately, Ringo was not able to dodge the Lance abilities, and Lance is too tanky, and they focused him instead of the tower, not creating enough space with the opportunity they were given. But they're gonna have to. But that was more favorable because they did get the Gwen pick. thus kind of coming back into the game just a little. But they are down 2 towers. Their map's really opened up right now. They don't have too much vision laid down. The only vision that is in poor spots, in my opinion, because it's just going to get popped. Preferably for those who find themselves in this situation that red team is in, when you have your towers down, it's good to have defensive vision, even if it's not in like major paths of transportation. But this is extremely bad. That was a good block, but he's still gonna get totally chewed up and spit out by blue team. The walking near tower was not the best idea, because then it gives Lance the opportunity to get his full combo off on him. That was very bad positioning from Ringo. He is a very squishy hero, and he already is Ringo lol, so he has things working against him. Blue team going to be able to secure this tier 3 tower and totally open up game 2, showing pretty dominant play from both jungle and lanes. Anyways, okay, like I was saying, if you find yourself in red team situation, it's good to have wards at your own tree end, at where Lance is, at your bears. I wish I had pings in spectator mode, but at your tree ant by this pine tree is a good place to have it. At your wall in front of your crystal miner is a good place to have it. What this vision does is it doesn't get popped, but I am missing a team fight. What this vision does, it doesn't get popped, but it gives you the opportunity to at least have knowledge, because they're already going to be in your jungle anyways. Poor team fight from blue. Apparently something went wrong. I'm sorry, I missed that. I was too excited of my vision knowledge. But they're still going for tower, which I do not think is the smartest idea. Hopefully they'll be able to get this Taka, but they're not able to capitalize any further upon this. So I think they should just back out of here, as they do have all their abilities down. But this is good. Kraken's up. They really needed to get that tier 1 tower by the time Kraken is up, or else they'll have complete zero control over the situation, and always would have to wait for blue to force the initiative, and blue would force them to play their game. They'd have no breathing room in terms of dancing around Kraken. They would be confined to just Tribrush and the lane. But with this said, Lance is potentially going to get caught out here. He gets stunned and gets chewed up by Fortress. Ringo putting down the damage, but it's not all quite there yet. He's opting to go potentially Bonesaw. Lance living with just barely in health. Taka X Retsu connects with the Fortress, but seems to do no damage. This red team is beginning to scale, and they're starting. The Gwen and the Taka are going to start having to make picks on specifically Ringo if they're going to want to stay in this game and continue their dominance. But things begin to slow down. Lance starts up the Kraken for the blue team. I'm not sure what red team is doing. This was kind of not ideal to be recalling while they want to initiate the Kraken. Kraken going to blue team. Poor decision making from red will cost them this, but if they're able to get the ace here, this will totally turn around and the Kraken will be neglected. Blocked ultimate from Taka. Catherine just waiting for her stun to come off cooldown, but she needs to save this for when Ringo gets jumped on. Ringo getting good damage off on the Lance, when Catherine, it was so tanky she'll survive. Gwen ultimate connects to the Fortress, but nothing comes of it. Ringo Catherine getting extremely low, but Ringo being able to kite away. Hopefully he'll kite to this Crystal Sentry to keep him alive. Fortress is just life-stealing off his abilities. This could be very risky for Ringo if he decides to stay here. I think Taka's going to be able to secure the kill. They're going to get the ace. And this is looking like game 1 for blue team if they come over and push, as they will. Okay, what a game. That was pretty up in the air after that Kraken fight, but red team totally neglects dancing around Kraken, kind of giving it up for free, and just some miscommunication or poor decision making will cost them the game and the grand finals. Congratulations to Team G for winning the very first ever Vainglory Community Tournament online tournament. And thank you for tuning in and joining with me on this crazy adventure. So, Team G is our winners. GG's. GG's. Let's go here. Where are we at? Yep, here. Let's change this.